Welcome to another episode of The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media. We got a great one lined up for you today. You're going to see some really inspirational interviews with thought leaders and people who are really making a difference. But also, unlike any other show, we bring national content, but also local market expertise to help empower your American dream. Got a great show lined up for you. Let's go ahead and get it started right now. Now for the word on the American Dream. You often hear me say the American Dream is a show that combats negative media. What I also want to remind you is that it's your show, not ours. So we bring on all these inspirational interviews, local market expertise, but our job is to reflect the American Dream back to you. Here's how we can interact with you a little bit more. This is our Facebook page. We would love to see you follow this thing. We post all of our clips. Yeah, you catch us on ABC, NBC, CBS. But the world is changing. If you want to follow the show, if you want to follow us, find us on Facebook. We're posting everything there. We're sharing it. A lot of these things are going viral. And that's where you can comment on the show, give us feedback, but also tap into our resources if you need an introduction, if you need advice. If you want to email me directly, follow the show on our Facebook fan page, Instagram, and Twitter. And that's just the word on the American Dream. Let's start the show now. All right, welcome back to The American Dream. Joining us on the show now, Dean Graziosi, who is a New York Times best-selling author. His businesses have done billions. Today, we're going to talk about the successful business blueprint. Dean, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah, great to have you on. So let's talk real quick about your best-selling books and what led you to where we are. So tell us a little bit about your history. Just catch our audience up to speed here.
Yeah, great. You know, everybody's got their story. Everybody's got their past. And if this will just give people kind of insight on the potential, you know, I didn't go past high school. I actually wasn't a great student in high school. I was out by 11 o'clock most days to work with my dad in his collision shop. And I just, at a young age, I hated watching my mother. My mother and father were separated, and I hated watching them struggle. Again, so many people have those same desires and passions. Mine was to retire my mom or have her not work so hard. And I just was lucky enough. I didn't go to college. I didn't have great mentors in my life. But I think at a young age, now looking back, I didn't have this breakthrough or epiphany at that age. But what I did realize is people that were wealthier and happier and life seemed easier, that they just did different things. They had different habits than my parents, my family, my friends that were struggling all the time. And I think I just adopted that at a young age. Plus you combine that with desire and not, you know, the ability, you know, to keep going forward because I wanted to take care of my mom. I remember that was the driving force back then. Of course, it changes over time. I retired my parents in my 20s, but that was my driving force back then. And then I was smart enough to looking back to try to be friends with people a lot older than me that were successful. And everything they said was counterintuitive to what I saw in the news, except for a great show like yours, like the negativity and what could go wrong. And this isn't a great time and it's not the right economy. It's not the right president. But when I met successful people that were older, they taught me that was all nonsense, that was what everybody thought. And that's why most people struggled. And I think at a young age, I just started being the crazy one in my family. My parents thought I was nuts. My friends thought I was insane. And I just started adopting different habits.
I call it being delusionally passionate, right?
Yeah, that's a great word.
So talk about the successful business blueprint. Help us kind of bring this all together and some of the strategies that you believe are important in today's world.
Yeah, so even my last book, Millionaire Success Habits, because I looked back over the last 30 years of being an entrepreneur and living the American dream. I mean, it was unbelievable. I'm way past where I thought I could be. But when I looked, I just had different habits. But then I really obsessed. I mean, what allowed my companies to, when things were going sideways, when everybody told me I was nuts, when the economy tanked in '07, we grew. I'm like, what were the fundamental foundational things? Not the hoopla, like what did it? And when I look back, I came up with 3 things that I think are the business blueprint. Okay. And it's probably a little different than most people think. It kind of goes upstream. And one, to start, is confidence. I know that nothing ever good came in my life when my confidence was down. And I'm not talking confidence to zero. I'm talking about confidence just 5% off. You don't make bold decisions. You don't ask the girl on the date. You don't go for the business. You don't walk in the boardroom and close the deal. You don't get the money from the partner. So I realized at an early age that I had to protect my confidence, and then I had to learn how to build it.
How do you protect your confidence and how do you build it?
Okay, two things. One is and it's all over the internet. It's trendy now, but I would maybe this is the first time you actually heard it and it sticks. Is I have a morning routine that sets me up for a day of playing offense rather than defense. And I'm going to go through it really quick if I got a moment here. Because if I do this every single day, literally I'm on fire. Something goes wrong, I fix it rather than hiding. When instead of waiting for emails to come in, I'm sending emails. Instead of waiting for the deal to happen, I make the deal happen. So first thing is I don't answer I put my phone on airplane mode at night. If you can't do that, then just put it away from your bed. Because here's what I know. If I roll over in the morning and I grab my phone, it's a crapshoot. It's Russian roulette. It's either a good email where I feel good, or it's a crappy one and I'm screwed for the day. Right?
100%
so
agree.
I'm not gonna give that email, that text message, or whatever it is, the power to rob my confidence first thing. So I open my eyes. The first thing I do, man, if I do this, is I spend a moment on gratitude. Now, everybody knows that. We've talked about gratitude forever, but I lower the bar. You know, 150,000 people die every single day. If you just open your eyes and go, wow, I'm alive today, or wow, these sheets feel amazing, or wow, it's raining, or wow, it's sunny. It tricks your mind. I got goosebumps, I'm not kidding you. I get goosebumps because I literally think, holy shit, excuse my language, I'm here, I'm alive. I woke up today, right? But then as soon as I do that, which is just moments, it just changes my framing of my mind, then I immediately go into one win from the day before. As entrepreneurs, successful people want to go to the next level, we're always beating ourselves up. We don't give ourselves credit. We think we don't get enough done. We wish we were further along in life. We look in the mirror and say, man, I thought I'd be further ahead. I thought I'd be richer. I thought I'd be happier. I thought I'd have my own business. We beat ourselves up when in fact you're doing so many incredible things. So the next thing I do is think of a win from the day before, and then I think of a win I want that day. And literally in 5 minutes, I'm in this different frame of gratitude. Oh my God, I did great yesterday. I can do great today. Still didn't look at my phone. And then for me, I just feed my body. I felt like I fed my head. Now I feed my body. For me, it's like a scoop of green powder, some MCT oil, some apple cider vinegar, a lemon. I pound it and I feel like I nourished my body, alkalined it. And then for me, I go move. Doesn't mean everybody has to go to the gym or exercise, but go move. Get the energy flowing. Get oxygen to your brain. You know, it's hard to be sad. It's hard to be depressed when you got oxygen flowing through your body, when your heart's racing. So if I do that, and I'm telling you, I mess it up some days, I'll be honest, but I do that 90% of the time, and within that little bit of time in the morning, I set my day up for confidence. I'm like, come get me, world, rather than, oh my God, the world's gonna come get me. And as minimal as that might sound in the overall success of your life, to me, it's everything. If I'm not confident, I'm not good on camera. If I'm not confident, I don't write a good book. If I'm not confident, I don't close the $20 million real estate deal. Your confidence has to be protected at all matters, and do whatever you can. And whether that's not watching negative news in your life. If the negative news makes you feel like the world's coming to hell in a handbasket, don't watch it. If you have a friend that tells you you're crazy, you're a dreamer, end that friendship or put a wall up. Do whatever it takes in your morning, in your day, to protect your confidence. And to me, that's the foundation of the, part of the bulletproof, blueprint for success.
All right, man. Spitting fire today.
I didn't mean it. I'm on a tear today.
I love the grateful nature. Holy I'm alive today. I hate to have you swear on a show by yourself, so I'm going to join you there. They're going to have to bleep both of us out.
Thank you. Now I feel so much better.
Do you feel better? Well, I know it comes from a
you.
place of passion. I think I just coined delusionally passionate. You have coined successful business blueprint. I love the fact that you're talking about mindset, starting your day out, putting your phone aside, not playing that game of Russian roulette with your email, getting your day going right, having confidence. It's a great message for the American dream. As you can see, Dean is the man. Make sure you follow him online. Hey, and don't forget about us. Even though you're catching the show on cable right now, you can follow us on social media. That's where you see all the behind-the-scenes stuff, pictures, graphics, memes, really the fun part of this show. Follow us on our social media. We'd love to hear from you. Breathe oxygen into this positive message. More of the American dream coming up next. Joining us on the American Dream now, she needs no introduction. She is an Olympic gold medalist, but what you might not know, also a successful entrepreneur. Shawn Johnson East joins us on the show. Good to have you on the program, Shawn. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, of course, we're going to ask you about your time as an Olympian athlete. Tell us about winning the gold medal.
It was the most incredible experience of my life. I was 16 years old, so I was just a baby, but it was a dream being able to wear the red, white, and blue and represent the country on the world's largest stage. It was just a pinch me moment for months on end.
Tell us a little bit about your training to become an Olympic athlete.
Well, I started gymnastics when I was 3 years old, like any kid in a recreational sport or like swim lessons. I trained all the way up until I was 16 and competed. But in the peak of my career, I was training probably 40 hours a week in the gym. I had nutritionists, psychologists. Everything I did on a day-to-day basis was revolved around gymnastics.
So you're obviously very young when you won gold medals. You're still young, but now you've moved into this entrepreneurial world. You've written a book. You have a new program out there called Fit. Tell us about that transition from being an athlete to an entrepreneur and how those two worlds relate and how you're applying some of those skills as an athlete to be a great entrepreneur.
Yeah, it was terrifying for me because I was only 16 and I technically retired. I felt like I was defined by gymnastics, and I felt like gymnastics was the only thing I had. So learning at 16 to kind of redirect my whole life into a new passion was overwhelming and daunting, but I just kept trying these little things. Day by day, I would try like acting and living in Hollywood, and I would try all these things. And the thing that kind of caught on was just this entrepreneur world. I loved taking on business. I loved learning about it, and it's just kind of become the career.
So tell us what you're doing now. You're a best-selling author as well. You've written a book that's been bought by many, but you've also got products and programs that you're doing. The newest, my understanding, is Fit, F-Y-T. Tell us about that.
So outside of the books were kind of just me telling my story. I felt like I'd learned so much at such a young age, and I kept all these journals and diaries that I just published all of them, which is also terrifying, but it paid off, I guess. And the new program is called Fit. It's kind of this all encompassing, kind of approachable fitness line. So we have subscription kind of fitness classes. We're going to have nutrition programs that are kind of partnered with some of the best nutritionists in the world. We also have a clothing line. We have kind of a community that we're building on the internet. It's just kind of this big branch of a world that people can learn anything they want about health and fitness.
I think a lot of people that tune into this show have that entrepreneurial spirit. With this online world, there's a lot of opportunity to do that. As you came up with this idea, ideas are one thing, execution is a whole different ballgame. So you got this thing Fit. You're obviously very passionate about fitness yourself. You've been in gymnastics your whole life. But how are you taking that thing to market? What advice can you give to other people who are building businesses and using this online world the way that you are?
Oh my gosh, the internet is daunting because it is limitless and you can literally do anything with it. And I feel like when you have an idea and you're kind of taking it to market and you're trying to put it kind of your mind into action, it's just taking one thing at a time. It can always be daunting thinking of this empire you want to build and how you get there. But for us, it was just about finding a team and finding a person that could kind of take my dream and put it on the internet and kind of build it out. And we've been building it out for almost a year now, but I guess it's just one step at a time, just taking the little measure and the little step every day.
What is what you envision for Fit over the next 6 to 12 months?
Oh my gosh. Well, the launch is probably the biggest thing. We're launching this week, and it's just kind of going to be a soft launch. We're not doing anything huge. We have a few pieces of clothing we're going to test out in the first class, but in 6 to 12 months, I would love to have just a lot of fitness classes that are available. I felt like the fitness industry was kind of inundated with these classes and this approach of everything extreme. It's how to lose weight in 10 days or how to transform yourself. So this is just kind of a more approachable feel of people truly learning about the fitness industry.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. I hope our audience can follow you online, follow your journey. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. And cheers to your American dream, Shawn Johnson East. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. If you want to follow her, at Shawn Johnson is her Instagram handle. You can follow us as well. I'm sure it's on the lower third below us. More of the American Dream coming up next. Well, as you know, the American Dream is a national program where we focus on business, the entrepreneurial spirit, overcoming adversity, finance, the market, all things that are relevant to empowering your American dream. But a big topic of conversation on this show is housing. So what we do is we integrate local, top-producing, award-winning realtors to cover a wide range of topics on that subject, different micro markets, different niche subject matter. Housing is such a big topic, so we're going to bring you a lot of information right now from some of the best in your market. Let's check out these interviews.
Welcome back. Our next interviews come from Nashville, Tennessee. Please welcome back to the show Bruce Jones, an award-winning luxury real estate professional, and he brings along a guest with him today, Kelly Harrell, who is a team member with Exceptional Living Group. Bruce and Kelly, welcome. Nice to have both of you here today.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bruce, I know that you and Kelly have worked together over the past few years. Can you just talk about how you two met?
Actually, her and her husband were a client of mine, difficult clients, I guess. And we saw maybe 35 houses one weekend when you came in, had to come into town and things. So, and none of them worked. And so, and I ended up finding her a pocket listing, and worked out really well for you.
Yeah.
And then, about a year or two later, you contacted me and decided to get into real estate, and just things kind of happened after that. So.
Yeah.
Great.
I wanted to do it on my own at first, and then I was calling Bruce for advice and help, and decided to join in on his team. So
amazing. Well, Kelly, I know that you also have an interior design degree. So I'm curious, how has that really helped you in real estate? Has it?
absolutely. I have people call me all the time who say, okay, I'm calling you for a design question, or they want me to come and help get their home prepared to sell. So that is very beneficial with clients, because they have a built-in designer, they have a built-in person who can come in and stage their home. I can come in and make color recommendations if they need paint, or just take their own furniture that they have and place it so that photos look better, and it's more appealing for buyers to come in and be able to visualize their own belongings to be in the house. So that has been very helpful. And then also with builders, I am able to help pick out specifications and do design work there. So it's been a very good degree to have to sell to clients.
Yeah, I bet, because I know sometimes it might be tough for some people to be able to see something visually before it's there. So I feel like having your special eye is really helpful for them.
Yes, absolutely.
So both of you, I know, work as a team. So how does working as a team really help your client base and, of course, help each other?
I'll let you take that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Everyone likes someone to kind of bounce ideas off of, and they like being able to just kind of confirm what you may already know, or you just need some extra advice. And so it's been really great I have 4 children, so I'm busy. So it's great if I can call Bruce and our other team member, Darcy, and say, hey, I'm going to be out of town. Can you be sure to take care of my clients? So that is always very helpful. And then if I recently had someone contact me who has their house currently listed, but they had seen work that I had done, and they were interested in me coming and taking a look at their home. And so I called Bruce and said, hey, what do you see? Like, what do you see that's wrong? What are the flaws here? What can we do that would improve this listing? And so it's just nice for us to be able to bounce things off of each other and have that support. And
I remember one last year, there were more friends, I guess, and I kind of came in and helped you, and it's like, what do we list this for, and things like that. And I just kind of came in as just said, hey, here's what my thoughts were. And
right.
I mean, afterwards, the husband was like, do it.
Yeah.
So.
It's very nice to be able to tell your clients also, like, I have this extra support. I have someone who's been in the business for 22 years. And can just offer that second opinion, and it gives the confidence to your clients that they need.
Awesome. Well, I know, Kelly, you also have a builder that you represent. Can you tell me about them?
Yes. So I am representing Cadence Construction, And they are a family-owned business. They build a lot in Nashville, Tennessee, and then now they are building in Williamson County. So they are a high-end builder, custom homes. We are currently building in several boutique neighborhoods, as we like to call them. There's only 20 to 26 home sites that are going to be available. They're all 1-acre lots. They I was very impressed when I met with them about the quality of work that they do. Very high-end things, conditioned crawl space. They have a lifetime warranty on their roof shingles, all fiber cement, and they walk their job sites every day. They keep a very clean job site. So it was important for me to represent a builder who had
They're more
high
detailed and
expectations.
not
Yes.
so big that they lose control of things.
Right.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Very good to work with. And so that was important to me. I need to be confident in what I'm selling as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that you also have a listing. Can you give us a detailed description of it?
Yes, so this listing is in Waterleaf, which is a boutique community, neighborhood in South Franklin. It's very close to Berry Farms, which is a new development, 65 Franklin. It's a gorgeous setting that all are 1-acre plus lots. This particular listing backs up to a farm with a gorgeous creek back there and sits on an acre. There are 5 bedrooms. You have 2 bedrooms down with a study, and then upstairs you have 3 more bedrooms, massive bonus room, additional space to add a media room, all high-end finishes, screened-in back porch.
It flows really well. 1.1 million.
1.1 million. It's almost 5,500 square feet.
Yeah.
So it's lots of space, laid out very well.
And that's built by your builder.
And it's built by Cadence Construction.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, Kelly, Bruce, thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was great to have you both here and chat with you today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
See you soon.
See you soon. And you're watching The American Dream. We have more interviews right after this.
You just heard from award-winning realtors about your marketplace. It's one thing to find your dream home. It's another thing to finance it. I've traveled the country to find the best mortgage experts in every city. You're going to hear from yours in a Mortgage Minute right now. Let's check it out.
And we've got our Mortgage Minute with Michael Brown of Churchill Mortgage. Michael, thank you for being on. Can you tell us, is this the right time to buy versus rent?
That's a great question. There's 2 stats that I recently read about that I thought were really interesting. The first one was there's 39 out of 50 states where buying a home is cheaper than renting. And in Tennessee, it's truer than ever. Rents are at an all-time high here in Middle Tennessee. So we found that most often folks can get into a mortgage payment much cheaper than what they're currently renting today. And they've also determined that a home buyer has a net worth over time 44 times greater than those who are renting. So 2 powerful statistics, and with the rates still being down, I think it's an excellent time to purchase a home.
I completely agree. Nashville is an incredible market to be buying into, and there's never a bad time to buy and start building that wealth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next guest from Nashville, Tennessee is here to talk a little bit about some title tips. Please welcome back to the show, Chris Corriveau, president at Midtown Title. Hi, Chris. Welcome back to The American Dream. Great to have you today.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
Well, Chris, can you tell me a little bit about title insurance and how title insurance differs from other types of insurances like auto or even health insurance?
Yeah, absolutely. So auto and health insurance is based on loss assumption. There's little work to do on the front end, and the insurance carrier is going to assume that you're going to have to use the policy in the future. If you have health insurance, obviously you may have to go see the doctor. If you have a car wreck, you have to make a claim on your insurance for your car. whereas title insurance actually emphasizes on loss prevention. We do all of our work on the front end. We're actually doing a labor-intensive record search to make sure that the person who owns the property has a right to sell the property to a person, and that there's no liens, no mortgages, no back taxes, no income taxes, just no items that would be detrimental to a person's ownership of the property. And once we check all those items off, if everything does check out, we're actually able to issue the new homeowner title insurance policy, which protects their ownership interest in the house. And it's actually something we would defend their interest in a court of law if a claim ever came up after we completed our work.
Okay, so it does sound like it is important to have. As far as new construction, I know Middle Tennessee, there's a lot in that area right now. Can you tell me why title insurance would be recommended for a newly constructed home, even though the home itself really doesn't have any title history?
Yeah, so even though the house is brand new, to you doesn't mean that the land is brand new. The land has been there actually since the dawn of time. So there's been ownership of that land for a long period of time. So what we want to do, as we alluded to earlier, was we do a record search. We want to make sure that all the items on the ownership is correct. And whenever that house is purchased at that point in time, if the ownership records are correct, then we're able to issue you, the homeowner, a title insurance policy that ensures your investment in that property is safe. So yeah, the house is new, but the land is still not new at that point in time. So there still could be items out there that could be detrimental to the ownership of the property.
Okay, all right, good to know. Now I know there's two different types of title insurance policies that can be purchased. So can you tell me some differences between the standard title insurance policy and then the enhanced title insurance policy, and why maybe that enhanced policy would be the best option when purchasing a newly constructed home?
Yeah, so an enhanced policy itself, the biggest differences between the policies are on new construction house. You're not sure if the house has been built. In the state of Tennessee, you're not required to have a survey when you purchase property. So you really have no idea where the boundaries of the property are, where the house has been built. Is it built in the correct spot that allowed for it? And so the enhanced policy itself actually protects the homeowners if the house was not built in a proper location, if it was built over the property lines. It also protects against any liens and judgments from prior contractors who maybe worked for the builder on the property. And I think the number one issue that it has that's a benefit to customers is that a traditional title insurance policy, once you purchase it, let's say if it's $100,000, the policy is only good for $100,000. Whereas in the enhanced version, it increases 10% a year for the first 5 years. So, and after year 5, your policy's actually got a value of 150% as opposed to just what you paid for it.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on and giving us some insight into the title insurance and why it's important to have. And of course, I'm sure you get all those questions a lot about the newly constructed homes. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. And stick around, more interviews right after this.
All right, that's all for the American Dream. Thank you so much for checking us out. Remember, our goal is to educate, empower, and engage your American Dream. Don't forget, we love you to breathe oxygen into this message. Follow us on social media, and don't forget, we'll catch you next time. See you next week.